What's going on, everybody? My name is LateHarmony, and welcome back to the DokeyCraft SMP. And today I've got a bit of a special treat for you all. Today we're actually going to be doing probably my very first big build here in the server, minus my own base, the Lighthouse. Believe it or not, I've actually got all the materials for it right here in one shulker box. Shockingly, it took me way too much diamonds because that's our that's the server's currency, as well as a little bit too much time to actually gather up all the materials. But it is finally time to get started on all of it. Now, I did make the unfortunate mistake in that I completely looked over the fact that I probably should have actually gotten the mod that does like an overlay effect here, because that would make my life so much easier. However, it's a bit too late for that. So, without any further ado, let us get on with the build. It has come to my attention that I may have miscounted some of my materials. Am I surprised? No. Am I annoyed? A little bit. But you know what? That's fine. Thankfully, I chose to actually build in a place that actually has pretty much all the ample material I need. So, it's... in all fairness, this could be much worse. I swear, it's hard. It's easy when you do this in creative, but as soon as you start doing it like in actual survival, that's when you start to realize that there are a couple of key flaws in your plan, such as how in the actual world am I going to pull this off? Because my answer is I have no flipping clue. Honestly, what I should have done is taken a thing of like all four angles and done it that way. Probably would have made my life much easier. All right, the lighthouse is now officially complete. Now, how about we go on a little bit of a tour of the latest build, shall we? So obviously you can look up and view it in all of its glory, but it only becomes great when you go inside. Now, it's pretty modest inside. It is livable in here, like you can sleep here, and there is a bunch of storage here. Well, not a bunch, but plenty of storage, as well as some furnaces and a crafting table. Eventually, I do intend on making these into a blast furnace and a smoker at some point, as well as leaving maybe one other furnace in there, because I have noticed that when you're smelting blocks in a furnace, it's just easier to, you know, use a regular furnace because you can't use a blast furnace or a smoker. I have lanterns going all the way up with a big fence that leads up, and I kind of did this just to kind of give it the illusion that that's like the big thing that, you know, kind of turns the lighthouse, even though there isn't really a thing that turns it. I probably could set up a big redstone thing for this, but I doubt I will. Yeah, the big light right here, like I said before, it is possible to do this a lot better and actually put, you know, more lights there and actually have it, you know, go all the way around and everything like that. I just didn't really want to deal with that because I'm not the best at redstone, to be honest, but I do have the thing going up, so it kind of gives the illusion that it's attached to something, even though it's kind of, you know, floating and attached right there, but we won't talk about that. And of course, you have this nice, big, beautiful view of at least somebody's build right over there. I'm not sure whose build that is, to be honest, but you also have this nice, big, lovely ocean view right through there. Look at that. That, in my opinion, is an incredible view. And then right up here at the top, you have an end rod that lights up this whole area and just kind of looks like a little antenna. I was considering putting a lightning rod up there instead of a end rod, but I was like, you know what? If a lightning strikes, I'd rather it not set fire to this place. So yeah, I went with a lightning rod, not lightning rod. I went with an end rod instead, just for, you know, just for some safety reasons. I also just realized I kind of made it look like a rocket. That was not my intention, to be honest. Whenever I think lighthouse, I think of a spiraling white and red going up, to be honest. Don't ask me why I do, I just do. But anyway, yeah, that is the new lighthouse build. Now, if anybody out here is wondering why it is exactly I decided to build a lighthouse, it's because, well, I wanted to. There wasn't really necessarily a need for it, other than the fact that I wanted to, and I think that it looks pretty, and yeah, it's just a fun little build, I think, you know. I do want to point out that if any of you have been following me in my live streams here on YouTube, you'll know that I have been busy building up Riverwood from Skyrim, which is literally my favorite game of all time, and to be honest, is just probably my favorite location, or one of my favorite locations in the game. So I've been hard at work building up that. Currently, there is not much there outside of just some outlines of the buildings and everything like that. We still have some terraforming to do, and then we actually have to get started on the actual building process itself, but slowly but surely, it is getting there. Aubrey has expressed interest in helping out with it at some point, as well as a couple of others, so hopefully I can get some other friends here on the server to help me out with that, because admittedly, I don't really know that much about terraforming. The actual building process probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but terraforming, I might need some assistance, admittedly. But yeah, that is going to be all for me for this video. I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you are brand new. Make sure you're ringing the notification bell so you know about every single time I upload or go live here on YouTube. And that's going to be all from me. I'll be seeing you guys next time in the next video. I love all your faces. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye-bye.